G'day, my name is Paul. I began working with hemp more than 20 years ago. This is the first hemp food product I created. It is in fact Europe's first commercial hemp food product, and it remains a best-selling snack food across Europe today. Although born in London, I've been working with hemp in Australia since the year 2000. My company, Hemp Foods Australia, was established also the same year and producing since 2012. It has quickly become the largest hemp foods company in the Southern Hemisphere. I now have factories around the world processing the highest quality hemp seeds, hemp oil, and hemp protein. In this series of videos, I will be sharing with you the basics of CBD. The emergence of CBD and why I see it being the most critically important development in the hemp industry right now. For me, all this began in early 2014 when I noticed conversations about hemp starting to change. Well, what changed? The customary jokes about getting stoned started disappearing from those conversations. Mainstream consumers were starting to take hemp seriously. There were a number of hemp innovations that year, so what was it that made consumers take notice? You and I would surely be excited at the thought of living in a hemp house and driving a hemp car powered by a, you guessed it, hemp battery, with products made from hemp plastics being used in many creative ways, while wearing hemp clothes with hemp waterproofing. But those things aren't what got consumers talking about hemp. So what actually did? They learned that hemp might be the answer to their biggest and most important and urgent health problems. This has been a constant stream of news reports claiming miraculous outcomes in a variety of health issues like pain, epilepsy, and cancer. And for children with epilepsy, getting access to the oil can literally be a matter of life and death. So, what is CBD? Is it safe? And if the stories are true, how could one substance be so profoundly beneficial? CBD stands for cannabidiol, which is one of the 500 chemicals found in the hemp plant. It is a class of chemical called a cannabinoid. Approximately 100 of the chemicals found in hemp plants are cannabinoids. Unlike THC, the cannabis chemical people are most familiar with, CBD is not psychoactive, which means it does not get you high or stoned. You may consume large amounts of CBD and still drive a car, go to work and function normally. Now this video, which is quite short, gives you a summary of both those chemicals.
Let's talk about marijuana and your brain. It's a rather complicated process, so let's start off with what's familiar to you. THC. THC is the chemical in weed that gets you high. You feel lightheaded, feel giddy, sometimes relaxed. Marijuana, you can smoke it, you can eat it in an extract of food, you can inhale it with a vapor pen, or consume it in an oil form. It's especially good for little kids who are taking it as a medicine. No matter the method, THC goes through your bloodstream and into your brain. And there, the THC is going to latch onto these special receptors. When they are stimulated, you release dopamine. It sends signals to various nerve cells all around your body and makes the user feel high. Not all cannabis is going to get you stoned. That's because marijuana contains another chemical known as CBD. That's cannabidiol. Marijuana plants that have low THC and high CBD can work really well as a medicine. They can treat things like epilepsy, pain, the ravages of multiple sclerosis, chemotherapy-induced nausea, all sorts of different things. It works because the CBD chemical can quiet excessive electrical and chemical activity in the brain. I know this 3-year-old girl who went from having 300 seizures a week to 2 per month after her parents gave her cannabis with high levels of CBD. When it comes to marijuana, there's some 500 different chemical compounds. All these compounds work together. It's something known as the entourage effect. It's important because you can't just take a chemical out of marijuana and make a medicine. You need the whole plant, especially when it comes to using pot instead of pills.
So This video mentions something called the entourage effect, and that you need the whole plant if you want the best results. This partly answers the question of how CBD can do so much. Those hundreds of chemicals act as CBD's entourage, and together they have a synergistic effect. The result is that the therapeutic power of CBD is enhanced, while the risk of any negative effects is minimized. This is what the British Journal of Pharmacology says about CBD. The synergism of CBD to cannabis pharmacology and pain relief has been scientifically demonstrated. Cannabis compounds display unique therapeutic entourage effects. And from Sydney University in Australia, with all modes of administration, pharmacological effects may be enhanced by synergies between constituents of cannabis not present in isolated or synthetic cannabinoid drugs. Please join us in our next video where we take a simplified look at what cannabinoids do in your body. Learn about the only other place a human can get cannabinoids from, and much more.